Hello and welcome to Owlish Oracle. We are a directed social networking site which seeks to connect generations through knowledge and care. Owlish Oracle provides a platform for the elderly to wisely use their leisure times after retirement in teaching and grandparenting children who really need it. In Owlish Oracle, there are several things that an elderly can do. Let us now log in and see what are the facilities that are provided for an elderly. To log into Owlish Oracle, you are expected to have a Gmail ID. If you do not have one, Owlish Oracle will request you to make one. Once you log in through the elderly page, you can join us and you will be asked to provide your Gmail login. Once you have logged in through Gmail, you will be asked to accept your details, and then you will be asked to register as either grandparent or child or as a classroom. As an elderly, he or she will register as a grandparent. Once they have registered as a grandparent, they will ask to give in their details, which they can give in, and they'll be asked then to provide their various occupational details and provide the basic skills that they have, such as teaching, communication skills, cooking, etc. The number of years if they are in service, and a little about them, as in what they like to do, etc. Once they have finished their first stage of registration, they'll be asked or given an option whether they want to teach children only, which is just to provide tuitions, or they would also do mentoring and grandparenting, which is where when an elderly plays the role of a grandparent, he mentors the child, he tells stories, he talks about the various important issues, he talks about moral science. An elderly can either be only a grandparent, or he can only be a teacher, or he can be both. In this section, the elderly would want to be both. Then he would be asked to choose the subject that he would want to teach. Once he has done that, his registration will be verified by the Owlish Oracle group, and it may take to a few minutes to a few hours depending on the traffic the website has. As I have already registered as an elderly, we will now enter. Once you enter as an elderly, after your registration has been verified, you will obtain this dashboard. Owlish Oracle has a user-friendly and elderly-friendly dashboard which provides a lot of information and a lot of scope to use your leisure hours. You can update a photo, you can update your profile, whichever details you filled up, and you can check your profile out. In your About Me section, you can see the details that you have provided about yourself. You can go back onto the My Profile section and you can see your connections, if you have, and how you will make connections. Once you have done that, you can see if you have received any messages, and you can see the routine where you will be setting your classes. We will not discuss this now, and we will again go back to the main page. In the main page, once you have logged in as an elderly, you will have to first post or advertise for your jobs. Here there are certain posts already provided. You can write a post, you can choose your subject, you can choose the section which you want to teach, which is class 1 to class 5 primary and class 5 to class 12 upper primary or secondary. You can choose the number of days, you can choose the education board, and then you can choose the subject. Once you have given the post will reflect itself in the teacher's posts or in the all post sections. In the My Post sections, you can see the posts that you have provided. In the Students Post section, you can see the posts that students have given, where you can reply. And you can say, I would want to teach. In the Classroom posts, you can reply to requests from schools who would want you as teachers. And in the Other Teachers posts, you can see what all your other teachers who are there with you in Owlish Oracle, here we have many, have posted, and what are the possible job opportunities that can happen. Once the entire post section is done, you can then get back to the dashboard and wait for your student to reply to your post. Once, say, you have already received a reply from any of the students and you have decided that you will want to teach the students, so you will have to go into My Activities. The most unique feature of Owlish Oracle is that as soon as you log in, it will provide you with a classroom. The classroom is a very unique thing which we will now discuss. But as soon as you log in, you will be provided with a classroom once you have decided that you will teach in so and so subject. So you can either provide supplementary tuition or teach in a virtual classroom, which is in a school, or be a grandparent to a child. So here, Mr. Day, the elderly, would want to teach supplementarily. So he will then schedule a class with the student he wants to schedule the classes with. So he will have the subject name, and he'll have the class, and then he'll have the student name, and then he'll set a date, maybe say the 12th of July this year, and probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock, and he will schedule a class with the student. Once he has added his schedule, the schedule will say the schedule is added successfully, and he can look up the schedule list to see when his class is. Here, schedule Shrimoy Das, private student, and is made by Apurva Dey, and you can cancel the schedule if you don't want to take the class. Then he can see his routine and see which date he has set his class. This routine is something that reflects the days and the times and the number of days that you have selected and scheduled your classes with maybe one or more than one student. The routine is more like an organizer. It will help the elderly to know that he has his classes, and obviously there will be reminders from Owlish Oracle to remind the elderly that he has had certain classes with so and so student. In the post class also, it's the same thing. He can post a requirement for a class. It is the same as posts. In all scheduled list, he can see the list of schedules that have been provided. This will help the elderly to see that who are teaching when or where, and with whom every other elderly has classes, so the classes will not clash. Again, the routine is where he can see the classes. The help section provides extra answers to questions that the elderly may have. Now let us go back to the dashboard. The elderly can also be a grandparent, and in the grandparent section, it is slightly different. The elderly can broadcast a session, which means he will generally, a elderly will have more than one grand students or grandchildren who will be attending his classes. So he will have to broadcast a session. He'll have to tell the activity name, maybe say stories, and say maybe the date is 12th of this month and year, and maybe say 16 to 17 hours, which is 6 to 7 p.m. and the schedule has been added, and he can see the scheduled classes, and these are the broadcasted sessions that are also there. So in these broadcast sessions, the student will join the elderly as a grandparent and see his broadcasted session where he can interact with the children also. The all schedule will again show all the other scheduled classes and broadcasted session. The routine will reflect the elderly's. See, he has set 2 classes. One is English, the other is storytelling, and both the classes are being reflected in his routine. Let us now go back. In the blogs, the elderly can write a story or view other stories. Whatever stories he wants, maybe a story about something interesting, maybe something he wants to express, the elderly can write it in blogs and everyone will be able to read it. To teach in a virtual classroom, the same procedure as you teach in a supplementary section. The only thing that is new is the curriculum. The curriculum section is something unique that Owlish Oracle provides. As the elderly clicks into the curriculum, he will see whatever subjects he has chosen. There are certain curriculums provided for that particular class, that particular board, and that particular section. Maybe say English. And English has some topics, and they have some PPT documents for videos regarding that topic. The elderly will need to download it in his system and then play. Other than these activities, the elderly can also make friends, and which he will do by adding in My Profile. Whatever requests or replies from his posts are, the elderly will have to go to My Connections and add the specific connection. In the case of posts, the student will add the elderly automatically. When he or she receives the reply, he is supposed to add it. Or if an elderly wants to add a prospective student, he can go to Add Connections and look up the entire list of students and see. He may have any pending connections. So maybe this child has already given him a request and he has accepted it. Or he may have to, some child has sent him a friend request and he may want to accept the friend request and he accepts it. So once more, the elderly can add from the list, or he can add from the posts, or he will be added automatically by the student. He can see the list of friends that he has, he or she. He can see the pending requests that he has. He can see in the All Connections section all his connections, and he can see the pending requests here. These are just icons that are created to make the elderly feel at ease. He can see messages sent by the students in his inbox. Here there are no messages. He can see the sent messages that he has sent students in his outbox, or send messages. In the inbox, he will see messages from his students. In the outbox, he'll see messages he has sent his students or his friends. And in the write message section, he can write a message to any of his friends. In the routine section, he will see the classes that have been reflected. In the My Thing section, which is a very interesting section, the elderly can upload a file, maybe a story, a video, something that he wants to broadcast, something that he wants to share with his friends and students. So here probably there is a photograph of something, maybe a video, maybe an audio, maybe some documents, maybe some photos. Everything will be reflected in the My Thing sections. The Trade Point section is, though it's not clickable now, is a section which will activate itself once the elderly starts taking classes, which means as the Owlish Oracle is a unique system which provides you credit for every class you take. So there'll be a certain number of credit for the classes he has taken, and if he takes classes regularly, his accumulated credits will then redeem him any kind of offer or gift, which will only be revealed with time. So this is pretty much everything about how to log into Owlish Oracle and what are the things that an elderly can do. In the next section, we will see how an elderly can teach through Owlish Oracle. For now, bye-bye.